Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is video number 4 for the book New Testament Revealed, Deception by the Devils. In this video, I will be reading chapter 3 from the book, and I will also include some commentary and also some supplementary information that you may find useful while you go through the book as well. If you haven't already downloaded the book, you can download it from newtestamentrevealed.com, or you can check the description box for this video for links to the download, which is completely free, or if you would like the softcover version, you could purchase it from Amazon or a number of other retailers that carry the book. Now, in the previous chapter, I spoke about belief. Actually, I spoke about the Christian faith specifically, and what it is and what is assumed, as well as what it is not. In this chapter, I will talk about my personal indoctrination process growing up. For I started out in a Christian practicing family, and even much of my siblings and relatives are still practicing Christians. Now, in this chapter, I will go into what I went through as a child, and maybe you have went through the same thing as well, or maybe you had a different indoctrination process. But I will just give you a snippet preview of what I went through as a young boy. So chapter 3 is entitled Indoctrination, and the chapter starts like this. Since the day I came to know right from wrong, I was already indoctrinated into a belief system, Christianity. As with many other children, we were dressed up and brought to church, mostly on Sunday mornings, to attend what is commonly called Sunday school. At the end of Sunday school, snacks are served at the end of our lesson, after which we were brought inside to the front rows of the church for regular service. Sunday school and the reward ending is not uncommon. It is the psychology of the reward system for shaping the minds of children and adults. This system offers a reward for participation or completion of a task or action, which in turn compels the individual to continue doing the specific task or action. So if you attend Sunday school, you will get a snack when the class is completed. This marks the beginning of obedient indoctrination into Christianity, and undoubtedly used in other faiths and disciplines as well. Now, if we look up the word reward system on the internet or anywhere else, a common definition reads, the reward system is a group of neural structures that are critically involved in mediating the effects of reinforcement. A reward is an appetitive stimulus given to a human or some other animal to alter its behavior. Rewards typically serve as reinforcers. So basically, getting a snack as a child is a reinforcement mechanism that compels or almost rewires the child's brain to continue or be more subservient to going to church and learning and listening to these stories and these other different things for sometimes the sole purpose of getting the reward at the end. So, you know, if you get a regular bunch of children and you're telling them these stories, over time they're going to get bored, they're going to get agitated, and they're not going to want to continue listening to the different little stories and little tasks that you provide to them. So you need something to keep their attention. You need something to keep their focus on listening through this entire process and participating somewhat, and at the end they can reap the rewards. So let's continue with the book. So if you attend Sunday school, you will get a snack when the class is completed. This marks the beginning of obedient indoctrination into Christianity and undoubtedly used in other faiths and disciplines as well. As with just about any Christian-based church, service consists of the beginning, which is mostly singing, clapping, and praises, followed by announcements, testimonies or testimonials, tithe and offering, and lastly, the word. After you place your money in the basket, or tithe and offering, service goes directly into the word, which is a certain scripture or two taken from the Holy Bible and made the focus of the day's talk by the pastor. After the word, final announcements, offer of baptism, offer of prayer, and other offers are made, and service is then adjourned or ended for the day. The word is undoubtedly the most important part of the church day for most followers of the Christian faith. The few lines of scripture, usually taken from different books, is centered on the topic of the day. This topic is something that is generally common, so it will resonate with many members or sometimes most members of the congregation. And if you've ever been to a Christian church, you'll know that this is absolutely true. Sometimes you'll go to church and the pastor will hit the nail on the head as far as something that's going on in your life, whether it be positive or negative. And you'll go, yes, God is speaking to me. Yes, this resonates. Yes, yes, yes. And these are reinforcers. These are different things that we think are supernatural when in fact they're not. There is a certain psychology that goes with this. Not to get into, far out conspiracies and whatnot, but when you have a group of people, chances are they share a common thing. Chances are anything that you speak about, there is going to be at least a few people who resonate with what you're saying. So this is the same thing when it comes to, let's say, the word or the topic of the day. When the pastor is speaking about this topic of the day and he's using different chapters and different things to make his point, the receiver of that information is thinking that God is speaking through the pastor, when in fact the pastor is simply using his ability of commanding and reiterating different verses, chapters, words, scenarios, and other things to aid in his effort to make you believe that God is speaking through him. And again, there is no way for him to truly prove that God is speaking through him. You just have to take his word for it. You just have to say or, put in your head and believe that this man is here to save you from damnation and hell. But we will get into that just a little bit later. Let's complete this chapter. The rest of the chapter goes, this plays a deep and important psychological role in the return of members to that particular church over and over again. A church member or visitor will now feel like God is speaking to them through the pastor. Unbeknownst to the church member or visitor, most pastors know that this psychological trick will work, and they will continue using it as a powerful leveraging tool. And as I said before, there is no way for you or the pastor to prove or disprove God. And this is actually a very powerful concept, because if you cannot prove nor disprove, then you cannot deny what someone is saying. But on the other hand, you cannot prove what someone is saying. And this is what's called a sleight of hand. You may think that because someone reads a specific part of the Bible and they can put it into reality context, that it goes to show that whatever is in the Bible can be used in common day economics. Which to some degree it can, but the problem here is a single verse or a single section of text cannot encompass the entire picture of what a specific book is trying to say or is trying to explain. It's not even trying what the book actually explains, because each of these 66 books that are in the Bible are actual separate books. And without reading to completion one of those books, you cannot just take a little section of it and go, oh, yeah, this resonates with me, so I'll just run with it. It makes no sense. Absolutely no intelligent sense. It's just like taking up a book in today's day, reading, just flipping to a random page, reading 2 pages out of it and go, okay, I know what's in the book. That's it. It's just absolutely nonsensical. Logically speaking and intellectually speaking, you need to have more information before you make a decision on whether or not to follow something. And as you can see in this indoctrination process, the reward system is very powerful, and it is still being used today in almost every facet of our lives. It is used in work. It is used in everything. Everything you can think of. The reward system plays a part. From psychological to physical, it plays a part. Whether you go to school, church, hospital, whatever, you're gaining some kind of benefit by going through an indoctrination process. And until you come to know that as a fact, you will never find out that you are being swindled and bamboozled, because you don't even recognize that there is an issue with what you are doing. Many people think that it is normal for whatever they're doing, and they will justify that by looking at what other people are doing. So you're using a congregational point of view to validate that you are doing something normal or sane. So with that comes the psychological burden of not knowing that you are not living a complete and full life, but instead you are actually being controlled psychologically, which then compels your physical actions. And again, this is not something that I come up with. It's right there. If you go to Sunday school, or if you've ever been to Sunday school, or you put your children through Sunday school, or siblings or whatever, I'm pretty sure this is a rather similar conclusion. The reward system is in every facet of church. Even, the reward of faith and the being saved from hell and damnation is a reward for going to church and being subservient to something that you cannot see, verify, touch, nor feel. And I'm not saying that hell may not exist. However, the facts concerning that is distorted greatly. And with that being said, it cannot be something positive, because if someone is twisting things to make their point stick out more than the truth, then that is corruption. And again, I encourage you to look up, what a reward system is, whether you have a dictionary and an encyclopedia, or if you just go Google it, or just Google an encyclopedia, and search for any terms or any things that I may mention in these videos, and become familiar with the terms and the terminologies that I use um, from the Bible. And that really completes chapter 3. Very short, only 2 pages. Only 2 pages. This book is only 113 pages, which only about 100 or so is actual content. So very short read, and again, very specific and to the point. So you can gain the knowledge that is being presented here without the fluff and without over explaining any particular point. So this is the end of this reading and this video. If you haven't downloaded the book as of yet, again, you can find the links in the description. And you can always post your comments, questions, or suggestions if you have any, and I will surely get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you, and I look forward to the next chapter, and I am pretty sure that the next chapter will shock many of you devoted Christians. And even the ones who don't go to church, you'll get an insight on how the church keeps its members subservient and afraid of the wrath of God. I will see you in the next video where we cover chapter 4.